what do we mean when we say an angle or two angles are complementary? They are complementary one another. That means the sum of these two angles must be equal to what? 90 degrees. Welcome. The last video I dropped on trigonometry ratio, trigonometry function, whereby we are finding the equivalent angle of I think sine x plus 20 equals to cos 60. Yeah. Then I told you that I'm going to come back and show us how is sine theta equals to cos 90 degree minus theta and cos theta equals to sine 90 degree minus theta. Here we are going to be looking at what we call complementary angles. We are going to be looking at complementary angle. And what do we mean when we say an angle or two angles are complementary? They are complementary one another. That means the sum of these two angles must be equal to what? 90 degrees. Started from a right angle triangle. You know that the sum of angle in the right angle triangle is what? 180. And why are we using right angle triangle? We know that in right angle triangle, one of these angles, which is our perpendicular angle, is what? 90 degrees. What am I saying? Now let's take a look. When we have this, we have a right angle triangle. Now this vertical line and this horizontal line is forming an angle 90 degrees, right? Which is 90. And since we know that the sum of these three angles of a right angle triangle or of any triangle is 180. Let's label this. Let's call this one A, let's call this B, and let's call this C, right? So since we know that if I add angle B with angle C, with angle A and angle C, it must made up to be what? 180. That is angle A plus angle B plus angle C must be equal to 180. But we know that angle B is equal to what? 90 degrees, right? We know that this is at 90 degrees because it is perpendicular, forming an angle of 90 degrees. Now, if I label this C as my theta, right? I label this B as my theta. Don't forget, let me come back again. Let me repeat myself. The sum of angle in a triangle is 180. But when we talk about right angle triangle, one of the angle is already 90 degrees. And when we know that the sum of angle is 180 and one of it is already 90 degrees, that means the sum of these two must be equal to what? 90 degrees, the remaining 90 degrees. Now, we are saying this is already theta. And that means this will be what? 90 minus theta. 90 degree minus theta. Right? 90 degree minus theta. If that is the case, how do we arrive to this? You know, for example, if this one is already 90 degrees, I can say 90 plus my theta, right? Plus my angle B my angle A must be equal to what? 180 degrees. Are you with me? Right? So here, let me make angle A the subject of the formula. I can say 180, take this 90 there, minus 90 minus theta, right? Now, look at this, must be equal to my A, angle A. So that means if I do this, angle A will be equal to 180 minus 90, which is what? 90 degrees. You know, everything is in degree here. 90 degrees minus theta. That is how we got this one to be 90 minus theta. Is that clear? Okay, good. Before we continue, don't forget, click the follow button, share to your loved one, let them enjoy this also. Subscribe to our YouTube page, follow us on our Facebook page. Thank you. Now, with this, how do we now get sine theta to be equal to cos 90 minus theta and cos theta to be equal to sine 90 minus theta? Now, let's go. Let's move into the work now. Now, let's look at this. When we represent angle, we normally use capital letter to represent, while the size of it, we use small letter to represent it. So, by doing so, if this is the angle A, then this is the side opposite of it. If this is capital C, the angle of this, then this is the opposite of this angle. If this is our perpendicular angle of B, then this is the opposite side of it, right? Now, let's look at it. So, for us to do this, then let's use our SOHCAHTOA to solve what we want to do here. That is, we want to find the sine of this particular angle and this angle. We have to find the cosine of this particular angle and this particular angle, and we have to find the tangent of this angle and this particular angle. So I don't want to make the video to be lengthy, so we are going to be doing it. Probably I will drop part 2. I will make sure I'll cut the video into 2 so that the video is going to be long. So I'm going to cut it into 2 so that we'll be able to enjoy ourselves. Now let's look at this. So the next thing we have to do now is using SOHCAHTOA. Using SOHCAHTOA now. What is the meaning of this SO that we have here? The meaning of this SO means sine equals to what? Our sine equals to opposite over hypotenuse. That is, this is the sine, opposite over hypotenuse. While our car is cosine is what? Adjacent over hypotenuse. Then our TOA is what? Which is our tangent, which is opposite over adjacent. So this is what we want to use. These are the things that we need to solve whatsoever thing that we want to solve here. Now, let's take it one after the other. Let's look for sine first. Let's go for our sine. We want to use SO now. Using SO now. So what do we want to find here? We want to use theta and we want to use 90 minus theta. Are you with me? So let's go there. Let's say sine theta. Sine theta equals, don't forget our sine is opposite over hypotenuse. And when we talk about opposite and right angle triangle, when you pick a particular angle, the side facing that particular angle you are talking about is the opposite, while the other side is the adjacent. But look at this. The longest side of this right angle triangle is always called our hypotenuse. This is your hypotenuse. So to this theta now, this is the opposite, while this is the adjacent. Now, to this angle now, to angle 90 minus theta, this is the opposite, while this is the adjacent. You understand? For both of them, this is the hypotenuse. So that is what we want to consider now. So let's take it from here. Sine theta, which is this angle, sine theta is what? Opposite over hypotenuse. What is the opposite of this? The opposite of this is what? C, which is what? C over our hypotenuse is what? Over B. Right? Okay, let's go again. Let's say sine 90 degree minus theta. 90 degree minus theta. You know, we are also using opposite. This is the angle we are using. Opposite is what? A over adjacent is what? C. Because we are using this angle now. Good. Now, let's go again. Let's do that of our car. Car of theta and of 90 minus theta. Right? So don't forget our cosine. We are using cos theta will be equal to, cosine is what? Adjacent over hypotenuse. Adjacent of this theta is what? This, which is A over the hypotenuse of it is what? B. Then we go to what? Cos 90 degree minus theta, which is also adjacent over hypotenuse. What is our adjacent? Adjacent of this is C over the hypotenuse is B. Right? Okay. Let me go to the last part, which is the TOA now. TOA of theta and 90 degree minus theta. Right? Look at that very well. Look at that very well. Look at this very, very well. Now look at this. On this, we are looking for tan of theta, and our tan is what? Opposite over adjacent. Opposite of this is what? C over adjacent is what? A. Then let's look at tan 90 degree minus theta. Opposite of this is A. Adjacent of it is what? C. Please do you understand this? If you understand this, please type proceed. Look at this. This is what we have now. Now, the next thing we need to do is to try as much as possible to look at this very carefully. What do you notice? You notice that something is happening here that we can just correlate. You can correspond them together, cross-check them to one another, compare them. Comparison, we want to compare one angles to another now. Let's look at it. When you look at sin theta is C over B. Which one is also giving us C over B? Do you have another one giving us C over B? On here, no C over B. Here, we have C over B, right? That means this is this. Look at this. Now, sin 90 minus theta, which is A over C. Where do we have A over C again? Do you have A over C, sin 90, and our sign is opposite, which is what? A over hypotenuse, which is B. Okay. Over B. This is A over B. So because this is sine, we are dealing with sine, and our sign is opposite, which is A. Hypotenuse is B. Now look at this. So when you look at this, which one is giving us A over B again? Do you have anyone giving us A over B? We notice that this and this, they are giving us something. So with that, let's now do something here. Let's write out what we are doing. We can see that sin theta is equivalent to what? Cos what? Cos 90 degree minus theta, which is giving us what? C over B. Right? So from there, you notice that we can easily say our sin theta is equivalent to cos 90 degree minus theta. That is how we get this. Do you understand? By comparison too, if you look at this, we can say our cos theta is the same thing as what? Sin 90 degree minus theta, which is giving us what? A over B. Because both are giving us A over B. Then we can conclude that cos theta is the same thing as what? Sin 90 degree minus theta. When we talk about complementary angles. Now, let's look at this. Do we have any other one that is similar? Now, look at this. When you have, look at tan. In tan here, we know that we have C over A, while the other one is giving us A over C. What is happening to tan theta and tan 90 minus A? You notice that they are the same, but the only thing there is what we call reciprocal of something or inverse, right? Because this is C over A, then the reciprocal of it or inverse of it is now giving us what? A over C. That is, there is a change. And if you want to look at this, for example, if I say A over B is the same thing as, I can say B over A raised inverse now. Now, this and this are the same thing. You understand? This and this, they are the same. Now, what is the meaning of this? That is, B over A inverse simply means 1 over B over A, right? Of which I can write as 1 divided by B over A. And when we say 1 divided by B over A, you know, I can change this multiplication, division sign to multiplication and say 1 over 1 times A over B, which is A over B. Do you understand? So what we have here and these, they are the same. So if you look at this, I can now say my tan theta is equivalent to 1 tan 90 degree minus theta inverse. Do you get that? So with this inverse that I've used, what is now the implication? That means my tan theta equals to inverse. I told you 1 over tan 90 degree minus theta. And that is the complementary comparison or ratio that we have on complementary angles. You see, it's very simple to solve. It's very simple to follow the steps. And if there is any other part of this that you don't understand, probably when I'm doing it, you are lost along the way, just drop your comments, message us, follow us, connect with us on our Facebook, on our YouTube, on this TikTok. Make sure you follow us, share it with your friends. Let them enjoy this benefit. And very soon, we are going to be starting going live, whereby we'll be asking your question, we'll be solving questions, especially the JAMB and the WAEC. We'll pick a year and we'll continue with it and we'll continue to solve it. We pick it for number 1 and we'll solve it live and everybody will follow. Till then, make sure you follow us and turn on the notification bell.